read in January. So I'm going to show the physical books I have, and then we're going to go over the ebooks that I read. So let's start with House of Sky and Breath. I reread this one because I already knew that the third book of Crescent City was coming out at the end of the month, so I just kind of wanted to refresh my mind about what happened in this. This is probably one of my favorite fantasy series. I love Hunt and Bryce so much, and their whole entire friend group. I feel like they all make this book as good as it is. They're probably all out of order, but I read Losers Part 2 by Harley Lorax. You guys know this is a very character-driven book, very spicy, smutty, all of the above. This is a reverse harem, kind of bully romance series. It's very unique, I think, compared to the other reverse harems that I read, because in this book, literally, they are all involved with each other. Usually in reverse harems, I think I said this in my blog, it's usually the girl and then all the guys are just involved with her. Sometimes there's just one or two that are involved with each other, but in this one, literally, they are all involved with one another. Oh, I should probably tell you what I rated those two. I rated House of Sky and Breath, obviously 5. And then I gave this one, I believe, 4.5 stars. Then I read Happily Letter After by V. Keelan and Penelope Ward. I read this one because it's been on my shelf for a while, and this year I'm really just trying to go through my physical books. So I was like, why not read this one? So I picked it up. And let's just say I did not enjoy it at all. I gave it 2 stars. I don't know if it's just me being a parent, but if you guys have read this book, how it starts off, how she kind of, you know, gets involved with the little girl and then the dad, it just rubbed me the wrong way, and I just couldn't get over that. So for that whole ick feeling that I was getting while reading it, I gave it 2 stars. I will say how fate works in this book is very unique and very like awe-inspiring, because I believe fate is a huge thing in everyone's life. So reading that in here, I really did enjoy seeing that, but I just couldn't get over how everything went about, if that makes sense. So 2 stars for that. Then my last physical book, even though I didn't read it while it was physical, so the last physical book that I own is My Anti-Hero. I actually got this as an ARC, and I was thankful enough for Valentine PR to send me this book literally like maybe 2 days before the release date. So I did get to read the ARC on my Kindle. Absolutely loved it. I gave it 4.5 stars. It was just everything. You get a Fallen Crest character that we read about in Fallen Crest, but didn't really get into them or anything really like that. She just has a way of making you fall in love with her characters, and I think that's why Tijan will always be one of my favorite authors, because of how I fall in love and how invested I get in her characters. Even the side characters, I loved Billy's sister and brother-in-law in here. I adored them. I was like, maybe I need a book on them. It was just really good. I loved Brett's story. I love that we get a little bit deeper and get to know a little bit more about how he was when he was younger and the choices that he's made because of how he grew up then. Yeah, I just loved it all. This is also, Billy is a survivor from the Midwest Butcher. And every year, obviously, they go over the Midwest Butcher, and it becomes a whole big thing again, and fanatics come out and they try to kill her, and it's just very crazy because she's running from a serial killer all over again. It's just really, really good. And then you have Brett, who's an NFL player and who's very considerate in this book and tries to see how his life is going to affect her and her being in the view and just things like that. I don't know, I just really loved how it played out. And trust me, the chickens are a huge thing in this. If you read it, then you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, 4.5 stars for me. So now I'm gonna just get my book journal so we can see what books we read on Kindle. So first book I read on Kindle was Sick Boys by Clarissa Wilde. I gave that one 4 stars just because I couldn't get over a certain fact that went on. Like I just still said it right now, I still can't get over it, but I really liked it. It's a reverse harem. She ends up going to this college because her sister used to go there. Her sister committed suicide, so she wants to get a revenge on the people who pushed her to that limit, and she's trying to figure out who it was that pushed her to do what she did. and it gets wild and crazy, and the boys are all very dark romance. It's a very dark romance book, and very, like, just look up the triggers if you're gonna read it. Then I read War and His Queen by Amo Jones. I gave that one 5 stars. If you guys don't know, oh, you can't, it's up there, you can't really see them, I think, but I love the EKC series. It's just one of my favorite series to always reread and go back to, and I just love it. I completely am in love with that series. But this is the second generation of their kids. So this one is following Halen and War, and that is Bishop's daughter and Nate's son. And holy smokes, like, I can't even tell you guys what goes on, because so much goes on in it that you just need to go in with an open mind and look at the trigger warnings for sure. Then I read Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie, and I gave that one 3 stars. It was not my favorite book to read. I thought it was a very good first book to the series. It just felt like it dragged on the first half for me to actually get into the book. Once I did get into it, I did enjoy trying to find out, like, what her sister was truly involved in, why she was involved with them, and just the mystery aspect of it really intrigued me. And then the slow romance that we've seen kind of building, but didn't really get into it in the first book. So I can't wait to actually continue that series. Then I read Iced Out by Veronica Eden, and I gave that one 3.5 stars. I believe his name is Easton. I really loved Easton and Maya's story. He was very compassionate and understanding. He always, like, let her know how it is, whether she liked it or didn't like it. He will let her know. They have both dealt with loss, so you see them trying to navigate that. It was just a very good hockey college romance that I enjoyed, and I would totally recommend to you guys. I read Descent by Maya Nicole, which I gave 4 stars. This is the second book in the Celestial Academy series. It's a reverse harem paranormal romance, and it's going. That's all I have to say. I can't really give much since it's the second book in the series, but it's going. She's learning about herself, her mother, the world that she's in. She doesn't know exactly where she fits with the angels because she doesn't have wings, and it's just a whole lot of things going on, let's just say. And the guys are just to die for. You see 2 of the guys in this book trying to find their relationship, because 2 of the guys are involved with each other in this reverse harem. So you see them slowly not knowing how to navigate that, because neither one has ever been with a man before. So you see that, which I kind of liked, honestly, seeing that aspect of how everything is slowly coming together for them. Obviously with the main female characters okay in it. And then I read Offside by Avery Keeling, and I gave that one 5 stars. Really loved it. I had butterflies reading this book. I didn't want it to end. I do believe it was a little too long, but like how everything wrapped up, I loved. Chase is so blunt about everything and has such a huge ego, but the way that he makes Bailey feel, I was just like, yes, give me more. He was very patient with her, wasn't constantly throwing himself on her. He came to her rescue multiple times. It was just such a well-written hockey romance, but also brothers rival, that I absolutely loved. Absolutely loved reading. It was like so good. Then I read, which was a reread for me, is Fallen Crest High by Tajan, 4.5, and I gave it 4.5 stars, and I read it before I started My Antihero, which I knew I was getting the arc for, but I had no clue who the characters in My Antihero was going to be. So rereading Fallen Crest was just, I felt like I was getting into a funk, and that's one of the series that I go back to reread whenever I feel this funk coming on. It kind of just pops me right out whenever I reread a book that I love, and that's exactly what that did for me. If you don't know, that's just like a high school romance, sports romance, football star, and just a lot goes on, like step-sibling romance, which I feel like a lot of people cringe towards, but like it's not cringy if they literally just became step-siblings and knew each other basically all their life, even though they never interacted with one another. Yeah, I just love it, and it's just such a good book to just like reread when you want to reread. So yeah, those are all the books that I read in January, but today I just went to, bam, and I got a couple books. So I'm going to share these on here as well because why not? There's No Devil. I have the first book in here, which is There Are No Saints duet. I have no clue what this duet is about, but I'm dying to read it, and they're super short. I think they're like only 200 and something pages, so why not? So I was like, let me just pick up the second one because I'm going to fly through the first one. Might as well have this one on hand. Then I got, these are all, by the way, first books in series. So I got The Prison Healer by Lynette, is it Noni? Heard amazing things about this. Have no clue what it's about, but I heard people really enjoy it. So I was like, why not pick it up? Then I got A Not So Meet Cute by Megan Quinn, which I keep seeing this everywhere. I keep seeing it on my Amazon, like in the books that whenever I'm looking up, and I keep seeing it. I'm like, oh my God, I need it. Flipping through, and let's just say that, where is it? I just seen it. Hello? Do you guys see that? There's cute little pictures in it, and I love that, and I feel like every author needs to do that. So I literally cannot wait to read that one. And then I seen that they had Pucking Around, and I heard so many good things about this, and I feel like right now I'm just in my hockey romance era. So of course I picked it up, and it's a reverse harem, and I'm like, I cannot wait to read it. It's book 1. Don't know if book 2 is out already or it's coming out, don't know, but I'm definitely going to be picking that up soon. Then I got Renegades because I keep seeing it everywhere, and the cover, it just keeps on pulling me in, and I love a good fantasy romance. And when I look at this is kind of giving me like Divergent and all that kind of vibes. Don't know why Divergent exactly, but if it's anything like that, not like that world, but something like it, then I know I'm gonna like eat this up. But yeah, that is everything for this video today. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure to subscribe down below and give this video a thumbs up.